Welcome to the Grenadier Podcast, Real Estate Uncovered. Phil Mauger, our Christchurch Mayor, is here to talk to us today about the Christchurch growth and revitalization. You obviously love this business. Tell me what you love the most about it. Today, an absolute exclusive. Welcome back to the Grenadier Podcast, Real Estate Uncovered. So, Phil, can you give us a current update of Christchurch's population and growth?
Christchurch is growing very well. After the earthquake 13 odd years ago, it went down badly. A lot of people went to Selwyn and Waimak, and we're now looking at probably just under, in the greater group, about 500,000.
Wow,
it's
so we've got to that 500,000.
It's just under 400,000 in Christchurch itself, but in the greater group, 500.
Yeah, that's
I'd like a lot of them to come back, because then if they come back, they can help pay for the stadium.
Right, yes. Yeah. I drove past the stadium. It's looking amazing, isn't it?
It's going to be great.
Yep. It's exciting. That leads us into some sort of, what are the key factors driving that growth back into Christchurch, do you think?
Well, one of the things certainly is I work well with the Vice-Chancellor at the uni, and last year they had 23,000 people enrol, and this year is 6% more.
Great.
Because Christchurch is now seen to be the place to come and learn.
Yeah.
They may be run out of couches to burn in Dunedin, so they've decided to come up here.
Yeah. And be more refined in Christchurch.
Absolutely. But when I was talking to her the other day, she said she could do with 1,000 more beds out there for people to for on-site residences. Yeah. So if she had 1,000 beds, I'd have 1,000 more people. So it's good, and they're very keen. I went out there and talked to a Rocketeer group, right?
Wow.
And they're all from out of Christchurch, and Canterbury's the only one that is doing this course, so they're all here doing it. And so they went over to New Mexico, and one out of 200 other unis won first prize out of a rocketeering thing they're doing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's great. It's really good.
It's good to see us on that cutting edge of technology.
Oh, we are. And other things like we've got out at Tawhaki at Birdling's Flat.
Yes.
We've got the new 1 kilometre long runway there for the aerospace.
Yes.
And so that's good. And Fabrum doing hydrogen generation and things like that. So it's a very exciting time to be mayor, isn't it?
In terms of city planning, how are we going to accommodate this growth and these residents in our gorgeous city?
Yeah, well, that is one of the issues. We're doing NPSUD. We're doing a thing called the NPSUD, National Policy Statement on Urban Development.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. And we were doing a thing called MDRS, which is medium density.
Yes.
And I managed to go up to talk to, because it was an Auckland and a Wellington problem that we all felt was getting pushed down on Christchurch.
Right.
We didn't need that, because after the earthquake we did our district plan, and it was working quite nicely, thanks very much. There were 2-storey units going around the place, and it was, if you wanted more, you could go for a resource consent and do it. But this government thing that came along was a blanket.
That's right.
You could buy a brand new section out in Horswood, for argument's sake, and the guy next door, as of right, could put 3 stories high and 3 units on the section next to you, and you'd have no say. So that's the bit that's been wiped out, and it's going to be made optional for council going forward with the new government bringing out their stuff. But we're still doing the NPSUD, which lets us build high-rise in areas like, say, Hornby or Papanui or Maryvale, or different areas where we want to have a concentration of people, so they can jump on public transport and come into
the city. Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the key infrastructure going on around our city? We've talked about the stadium, which is looking amazing.
Yeah, it is. We're very lucky with, say, the likes of, we'll start off with the convention centre.
Yes.
Now, that's booked out until Christmas next year.
Wonderful.
Yeah. In the first 8 months it was going, it put $45 million into the Christchurch economy. Things
Fabulous.
that, I've been and opened a few conferences there, and people said, we can't believe it. You just walk down the road, you go to the pub, you go around there, or all sorts of things that they can do. So we've got that's throwing it in. So say that gives us $50 million a year.
Yep.
We'll have the stadium, which will be similar, and then we'll have the Metro Sports, which will be similar. We'll have a whole lot of certainly national swimming events there, and so no, it's great. And the town hall's fixed, the court theatre's going to be open towards the end of the year. So it's a lot of good stuff going on. It really is.
Makes us a very attractive destination, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I spent a bit of time in Wellington and Auckland, mainly Wellington, and I'm not being awful when I think Wellington's looking a bit puffed.
Yeah.
But
it's a bit of a double entendre.
Tory
Wellington.
whānau will tell me off next time I see it. But we were looking like that before the earthquake.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of that revitalisation, has there been significant focus on that post-quake? How is that contributing to our city's appeal?
Well, one of the things that just the government alone threw $17 billion of money at the city. If the same thing happened today, the government wouldn't have that much money to put in.
That's right.
And that's where Hawke's Bay have sort of...
Yeah.
There wasn't enough money to do in Hawke's Bay what they did here in Christchurch. It's just an ongoing saga, but a lot of our stuff got fixed. And that doesn't count the money that came in from overseas insurance companies. So we got a lot of dough thrown at us.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the challenges that you find the city's encountered in order to accommodate our growing population?
One of the problems is public transport.
Yes.
I'm on the Greater Christchurch Partnership, and we talk about this sort of stuff, and getting a thing called the spatial plan done, which identifies the main routes in and out of the city that we will one day have maybe rail consistent buses.
Yes.
That's so people know that they can build higher there, and as I say, jump on a bus and come down. Take the likes of where the old Orange Theory Rugby Stadium is.
Yes.
Now that's 5 hectares of land there.
Yes.
That will probably it'll get changed to residential, and it'll be able to have some sort of medium density housing put on there, and that's only 50 metres from Lincoln Road, jump straight on the bus and into town.
Exactly.
And, you get a lot of houses in 5 hectares.
Yes. So that's going to be something to watch.
Well, it's going to make good use of that land, so it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know rates are a bit of a contentious issue, but we see that the city's draft long-term plan has been released. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the sort of proposal of around 13%?
Not
increase?
Particularly happy. It needs to be less, but we've got some stuff there that, we've got a lot of borrowed money. Before the earthquake, it would have been lovely being mayor before the earthquake. We've had no borrowed money.
Wow.
Now we've got $2 billion hanging off us, and 26 cents in every rate dollar we collect goes towards debt servicing.
Wow.
And that's hard in anyone's language.
Yes.
So we've got that debt, and things were all good when interest rates were 2%, but we're copping it as well. We've got inflation as well as insurance. So that's gone up markedly. So we've got those. They're the sort of ones that are they're set in concrete sort of numbers, and that's the thick end of about 8%. Of the rise is that.
Yes.
And then we've got Te Kaha, which is 2.2% on top of that. So before you know where we are, we're getting up and amongst it. But as far as long-term plans concerned, we just want people to please come and tell us. If you think, I can handle not having this park mode, or I can handle this or not, come up with any suggestion and we will listen to it.
Cost saving.
That's right, because I'd love to see it at 9.999, but that might be a wee bridge too far. But that's where I would like to see it angling towards, and where there's a will, there's a way, I think.
Yeah. Looking ahead, what are the key priorities in your mind for our city?
Making sure that we've got enough land. Well, I know we've got enough land. Making sure we're making it easier for people to build on, because one of the problems is, and you've heard about it, bit about it through central government, is red tape. Now, red tape would drive anyone up the wall, and we've got to make it as easy as we possibly can to let people build things. Just having somewhere for all the people to live is the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the upcoming projects that you're personally super excited about?
Three Waters. I really am. Yeah. I am keen. I was lucky enough to go and have a good yarn to Minister Simeon Brown. He's a lovely guy, and I went up and saw Chris Bishop, as well as some others. But Simeon's real keen on getting the Three Waters thing sorted. In June, we end up with the rules that we've got to make it with. Now, it may be that Christchurch goes with, say, Selwyn,
Yes.
And Waimak goes north with Hiranui and Kaikoura. I'm not sure. It's all up in the air, and Ashburton may come with us, or Ashburton may go south with the others. But whatever happens, all three of us, it'll be three groups, I'm sure. Whatever happens, we'll all be trying to do the best we can, and we will have control of it. And one of the things I'm real keen on is, which I think the government definitely got wrong, was they talked about three waters. I think we should talk about two waters, not lose sight of stormwater, but water comes to your house in a pipe and sewage goes away in a pipe, that's fine. Sort that out. But stormwater is different, especially in Christchurch, because if you get 1,000 litres rain on a hill in Auckland, it goes woof down a pipe and out to the harbour.
Yes.
In Christchurch, it falls on the ground, and it might take a week to get to the estuary, because that's how long it takes to get out to sea. So that's why we do a lot of retention basins and stuff out, especially out Horsell Sparks Road area, to hold the water back so that it doesn't flood the Heathcote. And the last couple of events we had, it's worked particularly well. There'll always be an event that's one bigger than what you ever hope, but we're doing the best we can. And all our stormwater retention basins are actually reserves when they're not full of water.
Right.
So our reserves department looks after them. There's walking tracks around them, cycling tracks. Everyone's happy. Walk your dog. All sorts of things that people can do. So if I can get two waters across the ground.
In terms of the things you love about our city, how do you promote Christchurch to the rest of the world?
I just look at Christchurch. I want Christchurch to be the best place to live, work, invest and play. We've got some very clever people here in Christchurch, so it's good. And, if we can make Christchurch sort of like the tech hub, I'd like to see it be the hydrogen capital of New Zealand, because I went to South Korea last year, and I ended up going around their research and development building, and it was 13,000 people work.
Whoa.
It's on its own campus, and we jumped in the bus and we're driving around, and I said, "What powers this bus?" And the guy says, "Oh, it's a hydrogen bus." So I said to the guy, why are we not getting these buses in New Zealand? And I'd like to have them brought over as just a chassis, because out in Rolleston, we've got we haven't. There's a company called Global Bus Ventures that makes buses on top of chassis.
Wow.
So bring them in as chassis,
Yes.
have the people in our province doing the work on it, so the money stays in our own pocket, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I said to the guy, "I want to buy 10 of these." This is the vice president of Hyundai. I said, "I want to buy 10 of these. God knows how I'm going to pay for it." But anyway, Hyundai New Zealand are sending one over, one electric one and one hydrogen chassis, just so we can play with it and see what we can do with it. So it's very exciting stuff. It's good fun. That's the stuff that keeps me interested.
That's so good, and it's great to have those innovations, right? And be looking for the next best thing for our city.
Always got to look outside the square.
That's fantastic. Phil, it's been a delight hearing about your perspective of our gorgeous city.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome. Anytime, just give us a ring. Yep.
Fabulous. Thanks so much, Phil.
Good on you. Cheerio.